are back. Welcome to Two Mates and a Mic. I'm Toby, and that is David.
Hey!
We're back in our separate rooms this week after a week away from podcasting, because last week we brought you Mates on the Move. So if you haven't watched that yet, head on over to our YouTube channel. While you're there, give us a little like and subscribe. But yeah, we've done two Mates on a Move last week, where we went to watch Crawley versus Swindon Town and just have a bit of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed that day. I don't know about you, David, but
Mate,
it was
class.
such a good day. Apart from the football, bar the football, we'll ignore that. But other than that, I had such a good day. It was so much fun. It was just pure chaos. Is what I would say.
The fact that we literally found a pub that showed the Chelsea game on an iPad, that is just
it just completely, I think that whole day epitomised us as as a duo, like chaos, comedy, all of that, and it was just incredible. Such a good day.
Class. Thoroughly enjoyed. What a day. Actually, do you know what? I feel like that. I mean, this is for one, the Spotify people will have to visual this.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm back in my teens again, because I'm actually looking at these curtains.
Look at those curtains
today. I'm at my mum's.
Oh.
And no, before anyone asks, no, I'm not in the doghouse. I've gone to visit my lovely mother for a cup of tea and a bit of a chat. So I was like, it's the only evening I had to film the podcast this week. So I've crammed the two into one. So I've brought my microphone over to mum's, and she was like, yeah, get on with it. So if you hear a dog barking at any point, no, I haven't got a dog. That's just mum's Benji.
Yeah. At least mum respects the hustle.
She does. She respects the hustle. She was like, I'm trying to subscribe to you, but I can't quite. I'm clicking subscribe, and I was like, no, you need to make an account and then subscribe.
Yeah.
She was like, but I have an account because I get to watch your videos, and I'm like, no,
no, you don't.
It's a different
honestly
world. But at least she supported the podcast, and I love that.
Exactly, and we're growing week by week, day by day. I keep looking in on how we're doing, and it's going really well. And that is thanks to all you listeners and viewers. So thank you very much for listening and watching up to here. We've had so much good feedback about this podcast so far. And we just want to bring you guys what you want to hear, what you want to see.
We want more. We want to do more.
Yeah, and if there's anything, like we always say, anything you want us to cover or us to look at, or if you think I want them to go there for Mates on a Move, let us know. We're more than happy to include what you guys want to see in this podcast. But speaking of things that you want to see, I saw on your Instagram this week, David, that you went to watch, is it My Neighbour Totoro or Totoro?
Oh, mate, yeah. So I went to the theatre to watch... do you know what? I'd never heard of it before. And it was through my work, and they just went, our boss Craig, and he went, there's this show that I really want to go and watch in London at the moment. It's very visual, it's very techy, theatre-y kind of thing. He was like, I want to just go and have a watch of it. And we were like, oh yeah, we'll go and watch it. Never heard of it in my life before, but mate, what a show. Like, honestly, if people are considering going to watch it, go and watch it. It's fantastic. Like, from a stagehand perspective, the set, the costumes, like Totoro himself is just amazing. And I don't want to give too much away, because if people are listening, and they will be listening when you get later on into this podcast, that love the theatre, it's a must go and see, mate. It was and I don't know whether you feel this as well. I feel like from an entertainer's perspective, sometimes when you go to the theatre, I always think it's hard to enjoy. And I know it sounds really weird to say that, but it's always like, in your head, you're always thinking about, well, I'd make that decision as a character, and I'd do this, and I would do this, and I'd love to go and do this, and I could see. You actually don't sit there and relax and watch the show in like an audience way. It's the weirdest thing, but I really thoroughly enjoyed. The storyline was a bit weak, but from a visual perspective, I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. Like, I think for me, it was since uni, when you learn about everything that goes on in theatre shows. Like, for me, it's you watch it and you go, I enjoyed that, not because of the show in itself, but I enjoyed like a choice an actor's made, or a lighting thing that's happened or a set piece. And I think, like you said, coming from an entertainment background, it's really, you enjoy the piece more for what it is rather than just the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you enjoy how they've got there rather than, this is a great show, I'm just going to relax and watch it. Like, it makes you enjoy it more.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
But speaking of theatre, while we're here...
Speaking of the theatre darlings.
Theatre darlings. For those who don't know, me and David both studied musical theatre at university. We are both entertainers, or were and still are entertainers. So we thought we'd collect a list of top 10 theatre shows, not just our favourite, but your favourites too. So David, why don't you explain the premise of how we created this list?
So this is very exciting. So what we did this week, I was said to Toby, I was like, what should we talk about this week? Because now we've got into this podcasting, we thought planning is the best strategy. And so we've gone, let's plan it. And Toby went, let's talk about musicals. And I went, I'm in. Toby is dressed for the occasion. I have not.
Yeah. Well, I sort of took your inspiration from our greatest movies of all time, where those that aren't watching or haven't watched it or haven't seen it, what you've been doing. But David wore a Jurassic Park t-shirt. The same one he's wearing now.
I don't change in life ever.
That is true. I think, David, you must have many of those t-shirts, because I don't think I've seen you out.
Constantly on the go.
But you wore that to that podcast, so I thought, right, if we're doing a theatre podcast, I'll wear something theatre, and I have an obscene amount of musical theatre t-shirts, but today I'm repping, for those that are listening, Back to the Future the musical. And I believe, more to be specific, this is from its London run. So when I saw it in London,
nice.
But I do also have it from its Manchester run, because I was at university when it was in previews at Manchester, so I saw it there. But yeah, so I'm repping a bit of the theatre today.
I love it, mate. You've come committed to the pod, and I haven't. So points for you this week, mate. So what we have done is we have done something where me and Toby have got involved, but we've got other people involved, and we've got you guys out there, the audience that is involved in this podcast. So this final list that we've come up with isn't just me or Toby. So if you don't like the list, don't blame us. It wasn't us.
No,
we contributed a little bit.
It's on you guys, not us.
It's partly on you guys, partly on us as well. So what we've done is I asked 5 individual people, and Toby's asked 5 individual people, and we also put an Instagram story up earlier in the week asking for your top 10 favourite musicals. Now the key word in this is favourite, because I know a lot of people are going to be like, how is a name like this going to be in this list ahead of maybe, just for example, Phantom of the Opera hasn't made it, just so you know.
No.
Hasn't made it. So people might sit there and go, how is this one ahead of Phantom of the Opera? I think the word favourite is important, because I think we all can appreciate that there are some musicals that we go, that's better than that. But I enjoyed the experience more in that than that. And I think there's certain names in this list where you go, how is that above that? That's where it comes into play a little bit more. So the premises of it is we have taken those people's lists, and we've gone 1 to 10, and the points way of scoring it is, so for example, my list, I'm going to be honest, I had Kinky Boots number 1. So Kinky Boots would get 10 points. And then in second place, it would be 9 points. Third place would be 8 points, and so on and so forth, till we get down to the bottom, where third place gets 3 points, second gets 2, 8th place gets 3 points, 9th gets 2, and 10th gets 1 point. And then we're going to accumulate all that data together, add all the points from the positionings that everyone's put them in, and come up with a final list based on those points.
Nice.
I hope that's explained in the right way.
Perfect. That is a perfect explanation. Now, for those also listening and watching, thinking, they're just going to read the list out. Like, I haven't seen the final list yet.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, this is also coming to me fresh. I know what my five have. I know what my five have sent me and what I've put in. I don't know what David's five have sent him or what David put in. The only thing I now know is Kinky Boots was number one. Or I know that there has been. I've actively tried to stay off the Instagram stories and reading those stories so I don't see what you guys have put in as well. I do have some sort of thoughts about what's going to come in where. Some shocks, some obviously not ones getting ranked. I think things like Book of Mormon's going to come in pretty high. Because I know a lot of my five have put that in. I think Legally Blonde, where it's at now, is going to rank, potentially. Mm-hmm. So I've got a lot of thoughts, but obviously I'll give my thoughts as we go through on a couple of them. Why I think they might be in there, why I think ones have missed out, but we'll chat about them as we go through as well.
Of course, and a big shout out to my five that have helped me put this list together. Obviously, my beautiful wife-to-be, Hazel Loftus, who got 5 through and went, I actually don't know any other musicals, so she's based hers on soundtracks as well.
Nice.
Amy Glennie, who I used to work with as a red coat at Butlins. Caitlin Whittington, who I used to work with on Disney. Joshua Jones, who I used to do theatre with, and he's a feature film director now, which is very good. And, of course, Will Hillman, who is one of my best mates. So he's been helping me as well. And we've done musicals together. We did Loserville, Beauty and the Beast, nice. All those kind of ones. And Toby, your five.
Yes, so I asked my wife-to-be, Grace. So I asked her to do it. I asked my sister, Zoe, to do a list as well. The response I got from her was, that's a very loaded question. I asked one of my mates from work, Ian, to help out with this because I constantly talk musicals with him at work. So Ian, thanks for your list. Ian asked, is it what I've seen or what I like? I went either. I also asked Luke Henley, who I was in a Amdram theatre company with called Bros, so that's Bognor Regis Operatic Society. Nice. Been in shows like Wind in the Willows with him, Avenue Q with him, and that company have got Little Mermaid coming up in April in Westbourne House School. So big shout out to them. It's going to be awful, but I can't remember the fifth person I asked. Who was it? Grace?
Dan.
Oh my God, he's going to kill me. Dan, I am so sorry.
I know your friend's better than you do, Toby.
Honestly, Dan, I apologise. I'm going to message him after this and be like, I forgot I asked you. Apologies. But
if I was a good mate, I'd edit that out, but I'm not going to.
No, we're going to keep it in. We're here. We live for the chaos. And I asked Dan. I asked Dan as well, who click, start, edit that previous bit out. I asked Dan, so that was my fifth person. So I've asked those. And then obviously we've had extra people ask as well. What a great start.
We've had a few from Instagram. We've had Georgia, we've had Jasmine, Claire, Gemma, Lee, so many more. And there's other people I've probably missed out as well. But thank you to everyone that came back on the Instagram as well. So this is a cumulative thing. We're doing this for you, the people. So let's get cracking. So I've done some ones that have just missed out. So we'll just briefly glaze over them. So in 13th, in 13th, 12th, 11th, and in 10th, we had Joint. So two are the same. So with 18 points overall, we had a Joint in 13th with Hairspray and Shrek.
Ooh.
So those two haven't made it into the top 10, but still great musicals. Shrek and Hairspray were both in the top 10 for me.
Yeah.
In 12th, I know Toby's not going to be happy with one of these. We had, with 19 points, we had Waitress and Moulin Rouge.
Ooh, interesting.
Just missed out there. And
do you know what?
Yeah, go.
Grace isn't going to be happy. I think that was her number 2.
I think it was your number 2 as well.
Yeah, it's a great musical. I'm really shocked that missed out.
So that's just missed out. And in 11th, Joint again with 20 points, is Rent and Lion King.
Wow.
Lion King shocked me that didn't get in.
Yeah, Lion King is a really shocking one. because the amount of love for obviously Disney and the show in general and how long it's been running, like maybe that would have got in higher. Rent as well. Rent is a great musical. Shocked that those haven't placed, but
do you know what I think it is with Lion King? I think it gets forgotten that it's actually a musical. Do you know what I mean? Like, cause it's a show and it's a film. It gets forgotten that, like, even though it's on West End, it gets thought of more. Maybe it gets more thought about just the general show rather than musical theatre.
Yeah, no, I think so.
So those have just missed out on the top, amongst many others that haven't made it, but they were the closest ones. From my list as well, I had a few that didn't make it at all. My one that I had a quandary with was Greatest Showman, because it's a musical, but it's not made it onto West End just yet. It is coming, but I did put that in my 10. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, well, I would say because it's currently in previews in Bristol. So I know that there are a couple of people that have seen the previews already out there on YouTube and stuff like that. So I would count it because it is a musical. But that is one that I'm definitely interested in seeing because apparently there's been changes to the script and 5 new songs added, I've heard.
Wow.
So they've really packed it out, which, I know I follow on YouTuber called Mickey Joe Theatre who's just seen it and released a review about it. So like, I'm really interested to see how that's been changed.
No, I'm really excited, and just a little shout out as well for, I think maybe the top musical at the moment. It was in Amy Glennie who put hers in. She put it at number 2, but it didn't make it. Was Paddington.
Wow.
Now, the praise around Paddington is incredible.
Now, I personally think the reason it's not been in our top 10 is because it is fairly new. Like, there's a lot about it at the minute online and, clips of where he's singing and speaking and things like that. But even though it's been out a while, but not ages,
The soundtrack's not even out yet.
No, so I think it's not reached a lot of people yet. Whereas a lot of ones that might make this list, people have seen multiple times, or there's a massive thing. Like, I'm seeing Paddington in May, so I'm really excited. But I couldn't put it in my list because I haven't seen it yet. So like,
it looks incredible, and like from everyone I spoke with that's seen it, they literally are like, it's one of the best musicals that they've ever seen.
Oh,
and I know it's quite easy to say that because it's easy to say that when something new comes out because it's fresh and some get stale a bit and you forget actually how good they are. But I mean it looks elite and I can't wait to go and watch it. But just wanted to shout out Paddington. Let's get into the top 10.
Here we go.
What we'll do is I will read out 10 to 6.
Yeah.
Then we'll talk about them in bits.
Nice.
And then we'll do 5 to 3, then 2, and then 1.
Perfect.
So in 10th, this is the only one left that is a joint 10th.
Yeah.
It is with 21 points. It is one that was in my top 10, which is Grease. And the one you're representing, Back to the Future.
Wow.
So Back to the Future and Grease in joint 10th. And again, before people have a go, this isn't just my list. This isn't just Toby's list. This is a cumulative list of around 18 people. Yeah. So it's not us. In 9th, and I'm gutted about this because this is my number 1. We spoke about it. Kinky Boots.
Nice.
At number 9 with 25 points. It's very close between these, I must say. In 8th, with 26, maybe low in people's opinion, is Les Miserables.
Interesting.
In at 8th. In at 7, with 27 points, is Dear Evan Hansen.
Wow.
And in 6th, before we get into the top 5, is, you spoke about it at the start, the craze of it being back on, 28 points. In 6th place, Legally Blonde.
Wow, that is a strong 10 to 6. Like, really strong.
Really big names in there.
I think the fact that Grease and Back to the Future in the list is on a level playing field, I think shouts volumes to Back to the Future to
I agree.
be in people's opinions on par with something like Grease that's been on for years and years and years and a staple of like film and theatre.
Yeah, because I've never seen Back to the Future.
Oh, honestly, it's incredible. But I think it really.
Talk about it.
Yeah, I think for Back to the Future, obviously, I was in like a amateur production of Grease, but when I went to see Back to the Future, the moment you this is in London, the moment you stepped in, you were immersed, and I think that was the big thing. Is like, and I think what that theatre that it was in does really well is it just immerses you straight away. Like, even when Waitress was there, you walked in and you were immersed in the whole thing. Like, I think that really worked for Back to the Future, and some of the stuff they do with that car, those who haven't seen it, oh my word, it's incredible. And I'm really excited to see how they translate that to a tour. Like, really excited. Kinky Boots, like you said,
I love it.
I saw it on tour a while ago. I'm quite interested to see this new production.
I'm really excited. I can't wait.
Because I don't know if you've seen the clips of it's like on What's on Stage and things like that of them at the London Coliseum doing parts of the show to be filmed and stuff like that. But Matt Cardle's Soul of a Man sounds insane, like incredible.
Yeah, it does sound great. It does sound really
the way
good.
Johannes moves and just incredible. But yeah, and then Legally Blonde, I'm not surprised it's that high up. I'm surprised it's not higher considering all the traction it's getting at the minute and Love Again. But like, it is a really underrated musical, I think.
Yeah, I again going back to Kinky Boots, I just remember it just immediately is my favourite musical. I remember when I was in London at university, they used to Todaytix was the app, and they used to do like these £20 front rows, and I'd never really seen Kinky Boots. I'd heard all the songs, but I didn't. I knew it was about drag queens and things like that. And I was like, yeah, I'm not against going to watch it. And so I kept clicking, and then one day I got the £20 front row seats, and I took my roommate Ollie with me at the time, and we went and watched it, and both of us didn't really know what was coming our way.
Yeah.
My word, at the end, it was just, mate, it's emotional, but it's brilliant. And at the end number, it just makes you just go, I can just achieve anything I want in life. Like, it really, it makes you feel that, and I'm up and I'm dancing, and the drag queens and the dancers, they're just amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And I went and watched it 7 times in 3 years when I was at uni. It was just, I love it so much. And the soundtrack, Cyndi Lauper is just, she's a queen.
Yeah.
I love her. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad it's in the 10, and I expected it to be maybe not there, but I expected it to be in that bottom half.
Yeah.
Of when we get to it, the names at the top are what you'd expect to be there.
Yeah.
But Les Mis is a funny one because I don't know.
Yeah, I think people there's a lot of love for Les Mis. Like, I think it's a timeless classic. Like, it's one of the longest running, or if not the longest running musical in London. I think there's a lot of love for it, but I think, I don't know, part of me thinks the film tampered a bit with people's love, like the casting of it, and don't get me wrong, the film's great, but I feel like that there was a bit of loss for it. And same with Dear Evan Hansen. Like, I feel like the film did it no favours.
Which is weird because it was Ben Platt, was it? No, not Ben Platt. Is it? Yeah, Ben Platt.
Ben Platt and Dear Evan Hansen,
in the film. So
yeah, it's an interesting one, and that I think
Les Mis. I think Les Mis is. I think what the title we're doing here is favourite.
Yeah,
and I think everyone has this global thing when you go and watch Les Mis and you go, it is amazing, and when you watch it, you're like, stunning, phenomenal. But I think unlike some of the other musicals that may be in there, it doesn't make you come out going, yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think when it comes to favourites, a lot of these musicals actually, the more you get up for a musical, the more you feel like you're like, yes.
Yeah.
Is what accumulates to your favourites a bit more. That's where I think Les Mis falls a little bit more.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think
maybe it is.
There's a love for it, but I think sometimes you want to walk out of the theatre going, oh, I feel great, I feel happy. But Les Mis, the message it has and the message it's sending, and you sort of walk out feeling like, wow, like what I've watched is incredible. But like at the same time, you feel a little bit like, oh, it's a bit sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the same with Dear Evan Hansen. Like you walk out and you're a bit like, like it's.
This is another one I've never seen, and I feel ashamed to say that as a musical lover, but I've just never got round to seeing it. But the soundtrack is one of my favourites. It's just.
Is this Les Mis or Dear Evan Hansen?
Dear Evan Hansen.
Yeah, so I saw it in London. I did this one thing. I think it was just before I can't remember when it was, but I did this thing where I did like 5 shows in a weekend. So I did a Saturday matinee, Saturday evening. Oh no, I did a Friday evening, Saturday matinee, Saturday evening, and then 2 Sunday shows, I think.
Yeah.
And Dear Evan Hansen was one of the shows I went to see, and I was lucky enough to see Sam Tutty, who was the original West End.
Oh, he's amazing.
He honestly incredible. And the stuff he's doing at the minute now, he's over on Broadway now. Like it's incredible. And I think it was really interesting because he didn't copy Ben Platt. Like, and I think that's the nice thing is that he wasn't copying what other people did. He made it his own, but he just like it's such a demanding role for that person because you are literally on stage the whole time.
Yeah.
But honestly.
Legally Blonde, I love Legally Blonde. I think it's I think again you're talking about the film. I think the film it's not a musical, the film, but it's brilliant. It's Reese Witherspoon is just great, and I think when they made it into a musical, it's one of those things where you go, they've tried it with Mean Girls, and I think Mean Girls is getting a bit of a mixed bag, isn't it? There's some like it works and some like it doesn't. Moving from movie to musical is the hardest thing, I think. There's few that do it, like Shrek. I think Shrek worked.
Yeah.
But I think some, like, maybe Mean Girls and things like that, you just go, maybe should have just left it at the film. It didn't need to be a musical. But Legally Blonde, I think, trans is...
Yeah, I would say Mean Girls was one of those where, obviously, it was movie to musical, and then they made a movie musical. That didn't need to happen. Because I feel like as obviously they're together, like Mean Girls the film is Mean Girls the musical, whatever. But I feel like if they made a movie musical of Legally Blonde, everybody would love it. If they made it well, it would be a hit, I think personally, because I think there's a lot of love for the musical, and I've seen clips online about the current show. It looks really good, like really, really good. But yeah, like they've done different productions of it over years, and I'm not surprised it's got where it has because it is loved. Like even the original Broadway, like you can find it on YouTube online. And I know when I was at uni, a lot of people would be like, should we just go back and watch Legally Blonde, like, because you can get it on telly and stuff like that? And we were like, yeah, why not? So
the Hannah Laufer casting is incredible.
Oh,
she is the queen of West End right now. Like she is.
Oh, she is. Yeah, do you know what? I completely agree. And what she's doing, where obviously Amber Davis has dropped out for health reasons, and no one can control that. And what I'm not liking at the minute, obviously, there's a load of things going on about it, and I don't want to go into it because we're focusing on the musicals itself and not what's going on in the background. And I think having to learn a track that you are, because I think she's Margot in the show, but then having to step up and be that lead on short notice, and then I just think watching it and you're seeing it and you go, wow, like
she's so
wow.
good. I saw her in SpongeBob, mate, and like something like that. She played Karen,
Really?
and she was just so good. Like she was
Yeah.
brilliant, so good. But yeah, so that is our 10th to 6th. We're gonna go 5 to 3 now.
Nice.
So, and then we'll get into the top 2. So in 5th place with 31 points. Actually, before we move into that, 5th and 4th, I haven't seen, so I'm hoping you've seen them to talk about.
Cool.
In 5th with 31 points is Heathers.
Seen it? Yeah.
So Heathers is there.
Nice.
In 4th with 38 points is Six, the musical. Now, the story about that is amazing. Like how the show has developed over the years is incredible. And then there's a big jump to our top 3 in terms of points. And I think these were the 3 that were, I mean, they are there because they're there. In 3rd with 59 points is Book of Mormon.
Wow.
So that is 5th Heathers, 4th, 6th, and 3rd Book of Mormon.
Nice.
Obviously, I'm going to leave you to talk about Heathers and Six a bit more because I've not seen them. But Book of Mormon in 3rd is it's so good, mate. It's just so good. It's just a musical that I think. You know when you say I could watch it again and again and again, and sometimes you're lying. You can't watch it again and again and again.
Yeah.
I could watch that matinee evening every day of the week and I would still belly laugh in it. It's
hands down
so good. It's the funniest show I've ever seen.
Honestly.
And like, there's Avenue Q and things like that are beautiful in their own way.
Yeah.
But it's just so good. And like, it's moments when you're sitting in, I remember seeing it for the first time, you're sitting there going, am I actually in a West End theatre? And this is going on.
Honestly.
It's so good from the beginning when they're dragging. Oh, it's so good, mate.
It's incredible. Like, I first saw it, so my grandparents took me for my 18th.
Oh, my word.
So I sat and watched it with my grandparents for my 18th birthday. And when I tell you, they loved it, but for me it was the most traumatising thing that I'd ever done. That, and then also sitting through Avenue Q with my nan, were the 2 most traumatising theatre trips I've ever done. Because I was like, am I actually doing this? Like, but honestly, like, I've seen it 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, it's about the same for me.
And every time, it's just so funny. Like, you find different things every time that you didn't realise before, and just... For me, it's like the little silly cameos in it that they're like, you're just like, what is going on? Like, it's what they can get away with, and it still is running today is like beyond me. Like, it's the so fact that clever,
mate. Like, it's all well and good saying like it's a rude musical, but I've said it before about that when we spoke about films and TV series before. Being rude isn't enough, and and it's. You've got to be so clever with your writing to get it right that it comes across. It go whoa, but it's funny. Like Definitely. In-Betweeners is the only thing I've ever known where it's constant swearing, and you go it's funny because it's in the right market for what it is, and this is in the right market for what that is. Like any other show in any other environment of what the premises of the storyline, everything is, it wouldn't work. But it's so beautifully done and so clever with its writing, and it doesn't jump out of you at the start and go straight away. It leads, and then there's, I don't want to say things in case people have like not seen it, but there's like a certain song when they get to that place and you sit there and you go, whoa, oh my word, oh my word, and then like that, then it's everything's out there and they go, well, that's the line, and in a weird way they never crossed that line.
No,
again, exactly. But they go near that line, so you go, if that's as bad as it's going to get, wow, like in terms of what they say and things like that. It's like, so beautifully.
Like you're completely right. And only the writers of South Park can get away with this. Like nobody else. Like you look at what they've written. Like for example, they also wrote Avenue Q. They push the bar so much, but they never go over it. Like they never cross that line, but they push it ever so slightly, just so it's not too much, but it's still funny. Like, so funny. And the music just...
amazing.
Honestly, if the music with the comedy, with the storyline, it's just incredible. And I think I saw an interview or like a news report about it a few years ago where they were saying they were on the West End, they were on tour, and I think the directors or the producers went to watch it, and they walked out of the show, and there was a Mormon family that had watched the show, and they weren't offended. Like, they were like, it was hilarious. And I think that's when you know you've hit it correctly. Like, when what you're taking the mick of ever so slightly is also sort of laughing. Like, as if they were.
And if people don't like it, then they go. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because I've been in the theatre where, like, especially when you get to that certain song, I think you know the song.
Yeah,
When you get that song, I've been in the theatre where I've just seen some people go, right, I'm off. And do you know what? Fair enough. It's not for you. But it has its audience and people love it for what it is and that kind of thing. And I think this is maybe a very controversial take. I think it's the most replayed probably soundtrack. Like, when you're in a car, it's the most singable soundtrack because every song is a belter, mate.
Honestly, it is.
Every song is a belter.
And I think in every show, or majority of shows, you have what I like to call a toilet song. And then when I think of the Book of Mormon soundtrack, like, the only one I can think of is the one that, like, the big female song. But also, it's not that song because it's so funny because it seems like an emotional song where you're like, oh, this is pretty boring. But the words that are coming along with the song just make it so funny. But yeah, it's just such a good show. Like, I'm glad it's placed third because I think I know one of the top two if I had to guess.
Yeah.
But
it's quite easy. Talk a bit about Six.
So
I've never seen it, but the story of, like, it was on the fringe and it got picked up and its scalability is insane. Like, how it's got to where it is amazing.
I think Six it's such a good show for everybody. Like, it's short, so it's a one-act musical. There's not much dialogue, if any, and it's just songs. Like, each queen has their own song. They have one together at the start and one together at the end. Or two together at the end, if you count the mega mix. But I think where Six hits right is it is for everybody. Like, everybody knows the story of Henry VIII and his 6 wives. Like, everybody knows that story. But it's done in a really clever way where it's not driving that into you. And it's done in a very easy way where people can just follow along. Like, they know what happened to each wife. They don't need to harp on about it. They're just slightly making fun through song about what's going on. Like, for example, my dad, shout out to Phil Scott.
Go on, Phil.
So my mum took my dad to see this musical. And my dad isn't a major musical fan. He has like a hand, or you can count on one hand the amount of musicals that he likes.
Yeah, he'd rather watch Man United, wouldn't he?
At the minute, yes. But he went to watch Six and wasn't expecting much. Like, and Mum was like, I don't know whether I've booked the right thing. I don't know whether he'll like it. But not only that, unknowingly, she'd booked a sing-along. It was Six, and then apparently they had screens around the theatre that the words were showing on. And then you had, because Six has this massive loyal following, and hence why it got 4th on our list, is they do sing-alongs and they do things like that, but they have fans that will turn up to the show dressed as like a Henry VIII wife.
Really?
Yeah, so you'll get
Wow.
Anne Boleyn, for example, wears like green because like green sleeves and things like that. So people will come dressed as like Anne Boleyn. So my dad had rocked up with my mum to the theatre. Not a massive theatre, but there were people dressed up as the Queens. There were the screens going on. And Mum was like, I think it's a sing-along. But we messaged them afterwards and called them. And Dad was like, wow, that was awesome. He loved it. And I think that's where it gauges so well, because you don't have to sit and follow a storyline. It's just, and all the songs are banger after banger after banger. And then you get His Third Wife, which is a not really nice ballad. But the musical writing is so good, and the writers deserve everything they've got, because it's now over on Broadway. It's in Australia. They've won Olivier's, Tony Awards.
Mm-hmm. It's won everything.
I'm not surprised it's fourth.
Heathers is an interesting one. Yeah, Heathers is. I've listened to some of the soundtrack. Like Blue, I think is a great song. Blue is a great song.
See, my struggle with Heathers is when I went to watch it, I saw it at the Theatre Royal Haymarket. So it had transferred to the main, like, West End. And if no one's ever been in the Haymarket or don't know what it looks like, it is quite a big theatre. And I was sat right up in the gods, in what people call the cheap seats. There is no such thing. Unless you go on Today Tix and get rush tickets. But I was sat up in the gods, and it was Carrie Hope Fletcher, I think it was Jodie Steele, Jordan Luke Gage. So, like, it was like the original cast.
The big ones.
But it really, for me, it didn't connect as well in the bigger theatre if it was in, like, because I know it was at the other Palace for ages. And speaking of, like, Hannah Lowther and things like that, she was, like, massive, and that was her big break. Was in Heathers.
Yeah, it was.
Because I think she played all three Heathers at one point. Was dance captain and in the ensemble. So that was her big break. But for me, it didn't connect because I was right at the back. And I feel like Heathers is one of those for the smaller theatre. Because it's very intense. It's very... The soundtrack's great. Like... It is a great soundtrack. Candy Store is staple of that musical.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Everyone loves it. And I feel like it is one of those that it does have its die-hard fandom.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, that's maybe why it's dropped on this list highly.
Yeah, quite high.
Quite high. But yeah, like for me, when I saw it, I wouldn't say it was my favourite. But that for me is just purely because I was sat quite far back. If I was nearer... probably would have loved it more, but
this is why it's a joint list, Mr. Toby Scott. It's a joint list.
Exactly.
This is the people's choice. As we head into our top two, I think subconsciously, Toby probably knows the top two names that are going to get there. But in silver medal, just missing out by 3 points. So on 65 points, the first place had 68. So 65 points in second place is Hamilton.
Oh, wow.
Hamilton sneaks into second. Now, I have a very love-hate with Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Hamilton as a spectacle is great.
Yeah.
My issue is, and maybe it's just me, and do you know what? It probably is just me, or people like me. I just think it's too long. I just think it's just so long, and I think... like, there's times when it like they get to like a song and I go, oh, is that the end? Oh no, it's not the end song, it's another song.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I just feel like towards the end it's just very long and I'm a bit like, I was just a bit done with the show as a spectacle.
Yeah.
I can appreciate what it is great and it is so good, and I think it was a musical that revolutionised modern musical theatre, because when it came out there was nothing like it at all.
No.
And the soundtrack was like this rap kind of thing. It was stunning, and like What Did I Miss is one of my favourite songs. I love that. And it's just so. It was. I can appreciate it and think it's amazing. And yes, I have no qualms at being number 2. And I think I was expecting it to be in the podium places.
Yeah.
But would I put it in my top 10? I don't think so.
I think I put this in my list somewhere, but I have only seen Hamilton once. I got it for my sister for a birthday present, and I watched it it was on tour, and I went to watch it up in Bradford with my sister. Honestly, it was incredible.
You had it in third.
It's the thing is, such a good show. I think I do agree with what you're saying, and I think the only thing with it is you kind of have to concentrate to follow along.
I agree, and that's not good for me.
And yeah, and because there is so much going on, it gets to the final quarter of it, and because the final quarter is actually really heavy hitting, you really get like you sit back and you go, all right, okay. And there's bits of it which just don't slow down. Like, obviously it's rap and things like that, but there gets to moments where it is just slow and steady, and it's really nice. Like, there's some... But the soundtrack is... Oh, there's some belters. Absolute belters.
It's brilliant for what it is.
And I think the marketing of it as well is... Like, it's never... I think the reason it's still so popular is any moment that they feel like it's not pushing as it should, something happens. So, for example, now the original Aaron Burr is coming over to the West End to play Aaron Burr in the West End. Mm-hmm. So the Hamilton fans are going crazy. Like, I mean, to be in that theatre when that is happening would be an amazing opportunity. But I think, like, I saw my Burr was a chap called Billy Luke Nevers. Mm-hmm. And he basically did the tour before as Jefferson, so the chap that sings "What Did I Miss?"
Yeah, it's such a good
song.
So
he covered Burr, and then when the cast changed, he became Burr. And honestly, you can tell when people really appreciate the opportunity that they're getting, is because they leave everything they've got out on the stage.
Oh my God,
and you can tell it. And the amount of shows I've seen where I'm like, this person is taking the opportunity and just grabbing it. And I think that for me is what made it massive, is everybody on that stage just gave it all. And everything about it, the music, the lighting, it's quite a simple set if you think about it. Like, there's not much going on, but what they do with it is incredible. And like, the fact that there's this one person that plays a bullet, spoilers alert if you haven't seen Hamilton, and their little narrative through it, like, if you didn't understand what was going on, you wouldn't appreciate it. Mm-hmm. But I think there's so much that goes on in Hamilton that everyone is like, this is incredible. I just think second is worthy of where it needs to be.
Yeah, I had no doubt it would be in second. No doubt at all.
Because I feel like first is... I feel like I know what number one is.
What do you think's in first? Go on.
I'm going to take a guess. Number one is Wicked.
You are correct. Number one with 68 points is Wicked. Now, this may have been influenced well, actually, do you know what? Maybe that's harsh in saying that. But maybe the film is heavy on the mind at the moment, so a lot of people have it straight to their head. But having said that, it is a sensational show.
Oh, it's got everything.
That's why it's been on so long, mate. It's just I had it in my... I can't remember where I had it. Where did I have Wicked? I definitely had it in my top 10, but I can't remember where I had it.
I think I had it in mine. I definitely know that Grace had it at number one. I
had it at 3. You had it at 4 behind Hamilton.
Yeah, I think it does deserve number one. In looking at it and going what it is compared to everything else on the list, I think definitely deserves that number one spot. The songs are great. Stephen Schwartz is a genius.
Yeah.
I think you're right in a sense that the movie is fresh, so it could have inspired some decisions. However, I think if the movie was rubbish, then I feel like it may have impacted slightly. But the fact that they did the movie so well, I think, really helped the musical.
Well, I think that for the benefit of it being, this is top 10 favourite musicals, not best, favourite musicals. It was the only musical that was in everyone's top 10.
Yeah.
The only musical.
So I think that
there was Book of Mormon had. I think someone missed out Book of Mormon. A couple of people missed out Hamilton. However, Hamilton was high. Like Hamilton wasn't lower than 4th on anyone's list that put Hamilton in. Whereas Wicked, there was a few that had it like at 8th or 9th, but it was in everyone's top 10.
And that's the thing, is all it takes is everyone to put it in their list at least somewhere, and it can go from not being in the top 10 to being first in the top 10. Like you said, like there's some that people have rated, like you said, Moulin Rouge has been put second and very highly in some people's lists, and not made the top 10 because it's not in other people's. But Wicked, very, very deserved number 1. Great show, and I think the casting that's always done with Wicked is always on point. The spectacle of everything that goes on is incredible. But yeah, just a great show.
I think it's the most authentic musical on the West End. And like when I say that, I think it is the most real musical. And like when you go into it, the theatre feels like the theatre. They don't really do a lot with the inside of the theatre. It's just the set. Like they just have a dragon that just pops up every now and then. But it's just the bridge and the bit. It's so cleverly done, but not in your face. And even when you walk into the theatre, it's like when you walk into like some theatres, like just Hamilton, Book of Mormon, you feel like you're just walking into a theatre. Whereas I think with Wicked, you feel like you're walking into Oz, effectively.
Yeah, it's completely immersed, isn't it?
The immersive experience, it's like I'm in. And as soon as you get in, you're just going, get me in that seat and get that show started immediately, because it's beautiful. It's beautiful, and it has toilets in the theatre, which I'm very grateful for. Because I went to watch it once with a guy, and we had a couple of pints before, and I suddenly sat there and went, I need the wee. I really need the toilet. But I don't want to get out. And then there's toilets down there, and I was like, oh, thank God, go in. No hand dries, thankfully, so I could just click and go. But so that's a benefit. But it's just that whole world, it keeps you in it, and I love that for what it is. And I think the film elevated it maybe very high, but I think, if I'm being brutally honest, when we were doing this, I knew it was going to be number 1.
Yeah, I think we all knew. Like, even receiving my lists, I was like, Wicked will be on there somewhere. Like, Wicked will rate very highly. But yeah, some honourable mentions I'd just like to put out there, because I put them on my list.
Which ones do you feel unlucky to miss out?
I mean, there's some that I put on my list that I'm going to shout out because, Jersey Boys.
That was your number 1.
That was my number 1. That was, for me personally, just a personal, like, how much I love it. Like, I've seen it so many times. It's such a good show. The music has just transcended time, like with Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. Like, everyone will know at least one of their songs or 2 of their songs.
Yeah.
So, Choir of Man was on my list, and I know it was on a couple of people's lists.
Yeah, Choir of Man didn't quite get over the line. It was, do you know what? It was mentioned by, I think, 3 people quite highly, but not enough people gave it likes.
Just because of the immersiveness, and I feel like that just, as a musical, immerses you so much in it, that it's just such a great show. But a lot of ones missed out there, but I also think that is a very solid top 10.
Yeah, I agree. I think, just to name a couple of others that didn't quite make it, I've heard a lot of good things about Next to Normal, which didn't quite make it. Come From Away,
Yeah.
another one that didn't quite make it. Oliver at the moment. Oliver's getting a lot of love.
Yes. So
Oliver's getting a lot of love.
I saw Oliver at the Chichester Festival Theatre when it was doing its run there, and honestly, probably one of the best productions I've seen at the Festival Theatre. Just such a good show at the minute, and I feel like that will come with a lot of love. Same as Paddington that didn't make it into the top 10. Once people start seeing it and people start getting into those theatres to see those shows, I think that will then make top 10s in the future and things like that.
Mamma Mia. I'm surprised Mamma Mia didn't get a shout. Mamma Mia wasn't even close.
Yeah. I've actually never seen it apart from the film. Like, I've only ever seen the film. I've never seen, like, the show and things like that. Do you know what surprised me? There wasn't a lot of Disney on this list.
No,
not overly.
No, Lion King just missed out, and then I think there was Little Mermaid got a vote, but I haven't seen that one. Beauty and the Beast, another one, maybe unlucky because that's a great show.
Frozen.
Yeah, Frozen got votes, but that didn't get in anywhere.
Yeah.
One to shout out, I think, which is really good, I think, is Blood Brothers.
Yeah, great show.
Great. And personally, for me, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh,
Mrs.
honestly,
Doubtfire is incredible. So good. Like, the soundtrack is amazing. The show on itself is It is so different to the film.
Yeah.
But it still has the same, like I said, when it was my favourite movies, it still has that same equivalent of just a nice cup of tea after after a long day. Yeah. And yes, that's another one that I'm shocked. Well, not shocked they didn't make it because it's very recent in that kind of thing as well. And last one I think that deserves a bit of a shout out actually is Avenue Q.
Yeah. Avenue Q, great show. Funny, great songs. Doesn't take itself too seriously. As fans of Muppets, we know how much we love the Muppets. So, I think that was... I've been in it. I've seen it. Oh, it's just a great show.
Yeah, I agree. But that is our list, so let's go through it from 10 to 1 before we wrap things up. In 10th was joint with Back to the Future and Grease. In 9th is Kinky Boots. In 8th, Les Miserables. In 7th, Dear Evan Hansen. In 6th, Legally Blonde. In 5th, Heathers. 4th was 6. 3 was Book of Mormon taking bronze. 2nd was Hamilton taking the silver medal. And at top of the podium with gold medal, number 1 favourite musical voted by you guys out there, Wicked.
If you just look at that top 3, Book of Mormon, Hamilton, Wicked.
Insane. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I love that.
That was loads of fun. And I think off the back of that, I think if anyone listening has thought of a musical that's surprised that it's not made the top 10, drop it in the comments of YouTube or send us an Instagram message being like, why hasn't this got in the top 10? Let us know what you thought of our top 10. Give us a thumbs up on YouTube and things like that. All your normal nonsense of what we need to do, the admin stuff. Mm-hmm. But I think, putting it out there, on top of that, if there's a musical that you've heard us say, oh, we've not seen that, or go and watch this, or we think this will be good for you to see, let us know, because maybe in future we'll look at planning a Mates on the Move.
Let's do it. Edition. Let's do it.
So if there's a show that you think... So if there's a show that you think they need to see that, they'll love it, let us know and we can have a look at it. Like, drop some suggestions. We're on board.
Let's do it. I'm well in for that. I think we'll leave that there for today. Do you know what? I'm going to drop this now. Toby has no idea, but I'm going to take charge of this. I think next week we're going to do a Q&A.
Ooh.
I think we should do a Q&A. So what we'll do is throughout the week we'll put a story on every day on our Instagram asking for your questions for our episode coming up. Now, this can be anything about careers, about favourite movie. We've done movies and musicals, so watch those episodes. Maybe favourite cereal, nonsense like that. We're up for any questions at all. So we'll put stories up or put them in the comments below. We will be going back to Ask a Mate when we get to a future podcast, but I think it's the perfect time for us to do Ask a Mate, Q&A.
Perfect.
But Toby, it's been an absolute pleasure. Have a lovely week, mate. And
you too.
We'll see you on the next episode of Two Mates and a Mic. Thank you very much, guys.
Bye, everyone. See you later. Goodbye.